Namaskar. Welcome to the example number 7 for the event progeny prospects. In this example, we are going to study a male chart whose destiny on the marriage itself was a late marriage. And the running periods at the time of marriageable age was not supportive and he got only late marriage in the favorable Dasabhukti periods. Even after the marriage also, that his wife did not conceive because his period also not favorable for about approximately 6 years. Only after 6 years only his wife also conceived and he got the baby. The thing is actually that destiny should indicate the delay, and that running periods at the time of marriage also not supportive for the progeny, and only after the 6 years during the favorable periods only it's supported for the progeny. That is clearly indicated in his birth chart itself. After the 6 years, his wife conceived during the favorable period and delivered twins. Let us check the birth chart now. Example 7, timing of childbirth, delay in pregnancy. Now let us study the birth chart of the male. This is the birth chart of that male. Now we are going to do a basic study on the chart, and let us go to the self-significators and let us study the destiny. Now let us do the general study. Lagna is falling in the Taurus sign. Fifth cusp is falling in the sign of Virgo. Fifth lord, Mercury, posted in the sign of Saturn, Capricorn, in the 9th house. So fifth lord posted in the 9th house is good. Second lord, fifth lord, Mercury, posted in the 9th house is good. And that is aspected by its sign lord Saturn from the second house. It is also good. Being Saturn and also is aspecting, it can cause obstacles or delay, but it is supportive only. That fifth lord Venus is conjoined with the Lagna lord sixth lord Venus. Sorry, fifth lord Mercury is conjoined with the Lagna lord sixth lord Venus. So that fifth lord connected to the sixth lord, it is indicating some weakness, but not unfavorable. But Lagna lord and fifth lord are conjoined, posted in the 9th house is good. And any other planet is influencing this fifth lord Mercury? Only Saturn. No other planets are directly influencing them. So now any planet is aspecting, yes, Jupiter is aspecting to the 5th house. That is good. Jupiter is aspecting 8th lord, 11th lord. Jupiter aspecting from its 11th house, aspecting to the 5th house, that is supporting. And Saturn also aspecting to the 5th house. So Saturn is causing some obstacles, some delay. If provided the Saturn is also signifying some unfavorable houses, then it will be more, and that delay can be more. So all depending on the extended significations, we can find that, but still it is indicating some delay is caused, but their positions are favorably placed. So that is not strongly unfavorable. So then Saturn is aspecting to the 5th house, this place, and Jupiter is aspecting to the Saturn by fifth aspect. Jupiter is also aspecting to the 7th house. So they are all favorable only. Jupiter is aspecting to the Ketu by 10th aspect. Sorry, not Jupiter. Saturn is aspecting to the Ketu by way of 10th aspect. Ketu represents Mars. So Mars is indirectly getting the Saturn's influence. So ninth lord, 10th lord occupying second house, Saturn is aspecting to Ketu. Indirectly, Mars is getting supports, and Saturn is aspecting to the fifth house. So we could see that the Saturn and Jupiter are giving some favorable support by way of aspect, and they are not strongly influencing to the fifth house matters, and fifth lord also not unfavorably placed. So now we have to find the self-significations. Let us go to the EPS self-significations and let us check. I have already selected the self-significations. Now let us check the childbirths. Actually, when we are going to study the home page with the EPS table, let us see why the destiny for the delay in marriage also happened. And while we are studying that, we will see that because the houses signified for the marriage and the childbirth are almost is going to be the, same only, because favorable are going to be the same. The only the unfavorable is strongly that fourth house, when it is coming fourth house, sixth house, 10th house, 8 are coming, then it will be more unfavorable for the progeny prospects. Anyway, let us check now. Child. Lagna Lord, 6th Lord occupying 9th house, 10th sublord. So this is 1 and 9 is good, 6 and 10 is having weakness. So Venus we can give pink shade. And 5th Lord. Second Lord, 5th Lord occupying 9th house, and 3, 5, 8, 9, 11, 12 cuspal sublord. Single planet is taking all the majority of the good houses in the sublord. So Mercury is second Lord, 5th Lord occupying 9th house. 3, 5, 9, 11 are favorable. 8 and 12 are indicating some obstacles. But because of this favorable strong grouping, Mercury can be given light green. Otherwise, would have got the dark green. 8 and 12, it is indicating obstacles. But with the presence of favorable strong significators, then we can take this, light green color can be given. And 9th Lord, 10th Lord occupying second house. 9 and 2 are good. 3, 7, 11 star Lord are good. 1, 2, 6 cuspal sublord. So these 2 and 6, is indicating some weakness to the 7th house matters, because it's 8th house to the 7th house and 12th house to the 7th house. And this can be having some weakness to the 7th house matter. For the progeny prospects, this is okay only. It is not bad, but still 9th Lord, 6th sublord, it is present. So we can make this one Jupiter, we can give blue color. This grouping is very good. And Jupiter, not Jupiter, Saturn is blue color. Jupiter planet, 8th Lord, 11th Lord occupying 11th house and 7th cuspal sublord. 11, 11, 7 are good. Being 8th Lord, it is not bad. It is only obstacle causing, but this is good only. Because of the 8th Lord, let us make Jupiter also blue. So that is correct only. Then Rahu, 6th occupant, 216 star Lord, and Venus also not so good. 199 is okay, but 626, though they are not strongly unfavorable or detrimental for the progeny, but 6th house is second house to the 5th house, and it is indicating some weakness, so it is not favorable strongly. So what we can do, Rahu we can give light red. Not detrimental, but it is not favorable. In the absence of the favorable grouping, it becomes weak. And Mars, 7th Lord, 12th Lord occupying Lagna, 10th star Lord. 7 and 1 is fine. And this one and second planet Ketu, 12, 4, 8, 12 is weak. So 7th Lord occupying Lagna, this grouping is not actually good for the progeny prospects. 7 and 1 is fine, but 1 is supported by 10, it is not good. So Mars is going to be light red, because unfavorable on the higher side. And Moon, 3rd Lord, 6th Lord, Lagna star Lord, and 4th cuspal sublord. 4th cuspal sublord is not good. but that is not being further supported by any 8th house, 12th house, or 10th house combination, but it is having favorable third lord, Lagna star lord. This is fine, but 614 is not strongly favorable. So what we can do, moon, we can give mixed one. 3-1 is fine, but 614, this grouping is not good. And then sun planet, 4th lord, 10th occupant, this is weak, but 5-9 cuspal star lord. 5-9 is good only, but 4th lord occupying 10th house is not good. Actually, it is a mixed one. What we can do, that we can give the light pink. It means what? Unfavorable also present, favorable 5-9 also present. And Ketu, definitely Ketu is going to be light red. And I think we have given all the colors. And good key planets, we can see Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. So all the remaining are either light red or pink or light pink. So it indicates that only 2-3 planets are favorable, remaining are having some weakness. If now we have to check the destiny, if these favorable key planets, especially destiny planet, in the star and sub of these unfavorable key planets, it will indicate delay, or even if it is completely unfavorable, then it is going to cause, denial of, progeny also. But we have to check. Just a minute. Fifth cuspal lord is Mercury, fifth sublord also Mercury. So that is the point now. Same planet is having all the good key planets, and let us check whether that Mercury is having good key planets in its star lord. Mercury is good in the star of moon, is a pink. Third lord 614. It is not detrimental, but it is further supporting to the Mercury, but it is not so good because of this fourth cuspal sublord. Fifth cuspal sublord, fifth lord in the star of a planet is having that 6 and 14. It is indicating weakness. Fortunately, it is not having that other favorable, unfavorable grouping of 8th house or 12th house grouping. One level is weak. Now we have to check whether that level planet is getting support from the star lord. Star lord of the star lord, Jupiter, is blue. It is good. 8, 11, 11, and 7. So this is good. It is posted in the 11th house, 11th lord occupying 11th house, and 7th sublord. So these unfavorable houses of the moon is not further supported by the unfavorable 8 only there, but 11, 11, 7 are supporting to the third house. So Mercury is losing some strength at the star lord, but star lord is getting the strength from the Jupiter. So that way, that the star lord's unfavorable strength is further not supported by the star lord. So that way, that star lord's weakness is reduced. Now we have to check the sublord. Sublord planet is Rahu 6 and 2-6. This is another red planet, 6 and 6. It is for the marriage prospect, it will be more unfavorable, this and this. But for the progeny prospects, if you see, this is indicating some weakness, but not detrimental. Rahu and moon, both are conjoined also. You can see moon and Rahu are conjoined. So that way, they are forming a ruler link. So the unfavorable obstacles are strongly indicated. Weakness are present. Second planet Venus. Second planet Venus is pink shade. 1 and 9 is favorable. If you look at that Venus is posted in the 9th house, conjoined with the Mercury. This Mercury is forming, we can say it is forming ruler link to the Venus, second planet. So the Mercury is getting the support, or Mercury planet is passing its strength to the Rahu indirectly through the Venus. That is one way it is good. And that sublord Rahu, which is having weakness, that is further supported by the star ladder, the sublord or not? No, Jupiter is again like for moon, how it supported. Here, Rahu also getting the support from the Jupiter. So it indicates what? Destiny planet is good. Star level planet is having some weakness, but star lord of the star lord is for supporting, and sublord planet has got some weakness. That sublord planet is further supported by the star lord of the sublord, and sublord planet is also getting support from the source planet Mercury. So that way it is good, right? So that way that the destiny is indicated but with delay, and only during the favorable period it can further support for the progeny. That we have to check it. Sorry. Now we have to check the dasa lot. Which dasa at the time of marriage he was running? Just a minute. He was born in Jupiter dasa. Then you can see Mercury dasa was running from 30 years, 28 years onwards. So Saturn dasa was running at the marriageable age. You can see Saturn was running marriageable age. That planet, you can see Saturn planet is having these favorable, but 126 is not good for the progeny prospects, because you can see this. You check the destiny of the seventh cusp. Seventh cuspal sublord and the star of Mercury, it is having supportive, but sublord planet which is weakening the seventh house is Saturn. Saturn is 126, which is indicating some weakness, because 216, I mean, seventh cuspal sublord in the star of a planet, then sub 2 level planet is moon, and this one is indicating some weakness. So Saturn dasa was not strong enough, because Saturn in own star and sub all are ruled by Saturn. So this is talking about 126 is not very strong in conducting the marriage, because destiny itself is weakened by the Saturn, Jupiter, right? So Jupiter, you can see Jupiter is having Mercury is influenced by Saturn, and Jupiter also aspecting Saturn, and Mercury is aspected by Saturn. So Saturn is forming a ruler link. So it is indicating some delay. It needs some good period. Who is the favorable key planet for the marriage? Also Jupiter and Mercury. That is not there in Saturn, in the whole Saturn. So it was not favorable for the marriage during the Saturn Dasa. Then in Mercury Dasa was running from the 30 years of age, Mercury Dasa. Let me see. Yes, 29 years of age, Mercury Dasa started. After, during that Mercury Dasa only, it is strongly favorable for the marriage. Suppose Saturn itself, if you feel that no, Saturn itself is, is favorable, why can't it give it marriage during that Saturn? Even Saturn Dasa also, it needs strong favorable key planet that is not holding. So even by after 25 years of age, then in Saturn Dasa, Mars would have run not favorable. Rahu would have run. Rahu source. This is supportive, but star lord of that sub-level planet is having this one is not good, and the destiny planet itself having this Saturn, so that is not good. So that unfavorable key planet of the Saturn is the mixed key planet, that is Saturn itself is playing role. So Saturn is not strong enough. It is giving hurdles, delay, that the Lagna will be more focused on the professional prospects than the marriage prospects. So now Mercury Dasa started. In Mercury Dasa, the native got married during which period? He got married in the Moon Bugdi. He got married in the, let me check the period. Yes, Mercury Dasa, Moon Bugdi, Mars Antra, he got married. Mercury Dasa, Moon Bugdi, Mars Antra. You see, if you look at the date, 22/8/2012. 22/8/2012. You see, within this period, it's only 1 month that Mars is running. If you see this, let me close this one. Mercury is good, star level is weak, 12 level is supportive. The good key planet for conducting marriage is Mercury Jupiter. Not only marriage, progeny also, Mercury Jupiter only strongly playing. The Bugdi which is having these planet in their rulers are free from other unfavorable. Ketu is not good, Venus not good, Sun is not good. Yes, Moon only, though it is weak, but star level is Jupiter and Mercury are strongly playing role. So that Moon itself is favorable. Under Mercury, Moon Bugdi is strongly favorable. So as soon as Moon started, it would have supported for the marriage. Moon Bugdi, Moon Antra itself would have supported. But that Muhurta happened during that month. The next month, Mars was playing. You can see Mars is seventh lord occupying Lagna. So for the event of marriage, this is fine. And the sublord is Jupiter and Mercury. So that is supportive for them. This Antra is supportive for the marriage. Okay, but though it is having mixed significations, 7 and 1, 7 and 1, and you can see that marriageable Muhurta they would have fixed during that 8th month. You can see only 8th month, 1 month only Mars Antra were running. But prior to that, marriage would have been fixed, and Muhurta has been fixed under the Mars. You can see Mars is holding the key planet of the Dasa Bugdi Lord is Jupiter is holding here, right? If you can see that Mars 7 and 1, 7 and 1 are favorable. So seventh Lord occupying Lagna, it is not talking about any sixth house. So planet Mars, star level Mars, 12 level Mars is having 7, 1, 7 1 are supportive for the marriage, but it is not having any sixth house. So because of that, it is not going to be unfavorable. So this Antra, though it is not very strong, it is supportive only, not weak, and sublord also strongly is favorable for the marriage. So Moon Mars, the marriage happened during the Mercury Dasa Moon Bhukti. So now we have to check, Mercury is favorable, but whether that Moon is favorable for the childbirth. Moon is favorable for the, marriage is fine. But Moon is not good for the childbirth. Why? You can see in the fifth cuspal sublord destiny that itself is the Dasa Lord, right? That is in the star of your planet Moon, which is weakening the Dasa, that fifth cuspal sublord, and further supported by the Rahu, which is also conjoined. So that way, this Moon, when it is acting, the planet which is weakening the destiny or Dasa Lord planet itself is ruling the Bugdi Lord and also having that favorable planet here. But again, Moon is coming. So this is indicating some weakness. So we need a planet which is strongly favorable for the conception. So Moon is having some weakness. So in Mercury Dasa, Moon and Bugdi is not strong enough. It needs a good planet wherein that Moon is not strongly playing role in the primary levels, and the role of Rahu also not strongly present, because Moon and Rahu are the unfavorable key planets. That role, if it is not present in the primary level, that is well and good. Moon is not good, and Mars, no, and Rahu itself is playing role here. So that is not going to be favorable because Saturn also having this. So this is not very strong. Jupiter, Mercury Dasa, Jupiter Bhukti. After this, you can see, it would have crossed about 4 or 5 years during this period. And Jupiter Bhukti was running. Jupiter is good. Star level and Mercury is good key planet. And yes, Moon is playing role only at the 2A level. But these planets are favorable. So that Jupiter, Star Lord, Sublord are all favorable for the progeny under the Mercury Dasa. Favorable key planet of the Dasa Lord Mercury is playing role here as the Star Lord. Other favorable key planet is Jupiter. Mercury, Jupiter strongly playing role here. So that way, Mercury Dasa, Jupiter Bugdi was actually supportive for the progeny. So Mercury Dasa, Jupiter Bugdi, in which Antra that conception would have taken place. This is also having some weakness, no? Because of the Mercury in the star of Moon. But this is good only, but it needs some more strength for the pregnancy. Which planet is the strong favorable key planet? Mercury. and then comes the Jupiter. So the conception has taken place not during that Mercury, Jupiter itself, because of some weakness in level wise, eighth lord and forming this unfavorable again 6 6. It is indicating some weakness because Dasa Lord is very, it is having some unfavorable strongly. Bugdi Lord is good now compared to the Mercury. Now, one antra is importantly required with the key planet Mercury, because Mercury is a strong key planet, and role of Jupiter. You can see that conception has taken place during Mercury Dasa, Jupiter Bukti, and Mercury Antra itself. The Mercury is the strong key planet that itself taken the, its role in the conception, because that is a very strong favorable key planet. Star level planet is having weakness but further supported by the Jupiter. So for the conception to take place, this planet is enough, because Bugdi is very strong. When the Bugdi is very strong, which planet is making that Bugdi is favorable? That when Antra is running, despite some weakness, but which is having favorable other supports also, it has supported for the conception. I'm talking about only the conception. So when Mercury, Jupiter and Mercury conception taken place, then if you calculate that 9 months from this period, the childbirth for that native happened in Mercury, Jupiter and Moon. You can see Moon. I will tell you the date. Mercury, Mercury Dasa, Jupiter Bugdi, and Mercury Antra, that conception taken place. Then from there, if you calculate, the date of the childbirth is, just a minute, 29/1/2019. 21/9, just a minute, 21/9/2019. 21/9/2019, the child was born. 21/9/2019. 21/9. Jupiter book the over, and just a minute, let me check the date again. Actually, the date was actually mistakenly given, is 21/9. It is 21/1. January month. Because when conception taken place in Jupiter Mercury, so in the second month, third month, or fourth month, then if you calculate from 2018, then it should be 2019 January. So 21/1/2019 in Moon Antra. I think you're able to understand. Moon Antra only that delivery happened. You can see how the moon is present. The favorable key planet, which is favorable for which is having the strong key planets Mercury and Jupiter, only that Moon and that Rahu is having Jupiter and Mercury, yes, and this Jupiter and Mercury. Only these 4 planets are holding that favorable key planet Jupiter and Mercury. Out of them, Rahu has got weakness, because Rahu's source is having weakness strongly. When compared to Moon, this is got more unfavorable. And because to that last level planet, that is sublord, also having these 2 6 2 6, it is indicating some weakness. So Dasa Lord Mercury, in the Mercury Dasa, Moon Bugdi favored for the marriage, but did not support for the pregnancy, because that Moon is having weakness and supported by the other unfavorable houses also. That Moon is the unfavorable key planet of the Mercury. So it was not strong enough to support for the progeny during its Bugdi. But when the favorable Bugdi started playing Jupiter, in the Jupiter, Mercury, Antra as favored for the conception. For the delivery, this moon is okay because moon may be having some weak, but third lord in the star and sub of a planet, favorable key planet of the Bugdi lord, right, in which the conception taken place. So when one Bugdi is not strong enough to support for the pregnancy, for the conception, but it can act as the antra for the strong favorable Bugdi. I think would have seen such combination in the previous examples also. One Bugdi maybe because of the weakness may not be strong enough, but the same planet to give the delivery, it is possible because that delivery period is falling in that period. It has to give. Fortunately, it is having all the favorable other key planets, so it is strong because Antra Lord has to work under the Bugdi Lord. Bugdi Lord is already given the green signal, so under the Bugdi Lord is very strong Bugdi Lord. Then that antra, even if it is having some weakness, but it is having the a key planet of the dasa, Bugdilad strongly present, it is capable to give the delivery. Moreover, you can see for the delivery, antra is having that 3, 11, 11 and 5, 5. So these good grouping are present. Only for the conception only it was not favorable. So there was a delay in the pregnancy because of the delay indicated by the destiny, and also that destiny planet itself is acting as the dasa lord. So that planet which is weakening the destiny, though it is having some supportive signification, supportive for the marriage but not for the pregnancy, then then after that, favorable Bugdi is Jupiter only, free from the unfavorable K planet's influence. It is favored for the progeny. So in that Jupiter, Mercury, Antra supported for the conception because Mercury is the one which is favorable. Saturn is not very strong. Mercury, despite some weakness, it's supported for the conception. You see, conception has taken place during the Dasa Lord, which is acting as the Antra. Despite some weakness, with the supports, it is supported. Then delivery happened in the moon period. So I think you are able to understand. Delivery happened in 21 to 2019. You please understand that, let me keep this here. Fifth cuspal sublord, Mercury, and also 9th sublord, 11th sublord, 2, 5, 9 favorable good houses are present. That Mercury is conjoined with the Venus in the 9th house. Now that Mercury in the star of moon, that moon is occupying the 6th house along with the Rahu. That moon in the star of Jupiter posted in the 11th house in its own sign at the edge of that 11th house. You can see 29 degree 15 minutes in the star of Mercury itself. So that favorable signification of Mercury and also Jupiter's involvement 11th house, 7th house, that native got a twins. Though it was delayed, Mercury delayed, but it promised because of the Jupiter, it promised twin. Despite some delay, that couple got the twin. So that is also good, no? So though it is delayed, it has got the twin births. So that way it happened. So now let us check the transit also. 21/1/2019. On the transit, whether how that Jupiter was supportive. 21/1/2019. I forgot. Just a minute. Let me check the date again. 21/1/2019. Yes. 21/1/2019. So let us check the Jupiter's position. Jupiter is posted in the Scorpio sign. So it is in the Scorpio sign. Jupiter transit, Jupiter is in the Scorpio sign. That Jupiter is aspecting to the 11th house, and Jupiter is aspecting to the Mars, and Jupiter is aspecting to the Saturn by ninth aspect. Who is the fifth lord? Fifth lord is Mercury. Jupiter is not aspecting to Mercury straight away, but Jupiter is aspecting to the 11th house. That is good. And also aspecting Lagna and also aspecting the ninth lord Saturn. So Jupiter transit is like that. And what degree? 21 degrees. So definitely the whole year it would have been there in that sign only. In the transit, Jupiter is conjoined with the Venus. Venus, it is conjoined. So Venus is the planet which is actually, if you look at that significators, favorable key planets are Jupiter, Mercury, right? Strongly. Jupiter and Mercury are the strong favorable key planets. Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. That Jupiter is aspecting to the Saturn, that's fine. And Saturn in the sign of Jupiter, and whether the Jupiter is having connection to the other favorable key planets. So that way, I mean, it is not straight away present. And let us check the transit of the planets. Moon in the sign of Moon itself and in the star of Saturn. So Saturn is a good key planet, right? And that Dasa Lord, Mercury Dasa, what are the Dasa DBA planet? Mercury and Jupiter and Moon. The delivery happened. Mercury, Jupiter, Moon. Mercury, where is Mercury? Mercury is in the sign of Saturn in the star of Sun. I mean, Mercury in the sign of Saturn, star of Sun. So that Saturn is fine. Star Lord Sun is not so good. Sun is not a good key planet, right? So let us keep this. Sun is not a very good key planet, but 5 and 9 is present. But that Mercury is conjoined with the Ketu, that is also not so good. Conjoined with the Sun, that is also not so good. But you can see Mercury is aspecting to the Rahu and Moon. So they are also not favorably present. So Mercury position is not so good here, but Mercury is conjoined in its own net in the natal Mercury and Venus is conjoined. So the only the the support it has got, Mercury is posted in the sign of Saturn, star of Sun. They are not very strong, but sublord is Jupiter is fine, and Mercury is conjoined in the position to the natal Mercury and Venus. That is the only point we can find here. And Mercury Dasa and what Jupiter. Jupiter is already we discussed. Jupiter is in the sign of Mars, star of Mercury. So Mercury is a good key planet, so that is fine. So that way that Jupiter star lord is good, and that way that Dasa, Bugdi, Antra is moon itself. So that we already discussed. That moon is aspected by Jupiter also by ninth aspect in the transit. So that transit is indicating some, weakness because of the Dasa Lord only having some weakness, but not Bugdi Lord, Antra Lord all strongly present. So that way, that destiny is indicating delay and unfavorable key planet which are making the delay for the progeny, that itself is that the destiny planet itself is ruling the Dasa Lord. Because of that, it is supportive also, but it is waiting for the strong favorable Bugdi without the unfavorable key planet of the Dasa Lord and destiny planet, Moon and Rahu role. So that Bugdi only gave the marriage, and also, that Bugdi only gave, supported for the progeny. So Mercury and Jupiter is free from the unfavorable key planet. So that Jupiter has given the progeny in its period. I think we are able to understand this one. So such study in the destiny and also finding the good planets and finding the good planets for the unfavorable and unfavorable key planet, favorable key planets for the progeny and also marriage. When you are going to study, we could see in this chart for both the events, Mercury and Jupiter are the favorable one, and Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. But these planets, which are the planets are having in their rulers we are able to find, and we could see how that Bugdi, which is given favorable for the marriage, did not favor for the progeny, because that Bugdi is unfavorable planet for the pregnancy, which is there in the destiny of the childbirth. I think you're able to understand. So we will meet in the next video. Thank you. Good luck.